Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. We are live again with Factorio Go Speed Championship account. And today we are featuring a show match, which is actually an advertisement for the next edition of Factorio Speed Go Championship, which will happen in autumn. And today's show match, on today's show match, we are welcoming two super famous Blitz players who actually haven't participated yet in the previous two editions. And so we are welcoming Fredrik Blomback, aka Freda, and Pavol Lisý, aka Palko, or Cheater on KGS, a very famous account. So today's match will have accelerated time settings. So we are actually starting with relatively moderate time settings of 5 minutes and 8 seconds increment of Fisher time, but it will slowly go down. And since the match will today feature all of the 5 games, the 5th game will be played with only 1 minute and 4 seconds increment, which will be damn fast, I have to say. So today we will enjoy a lot of fun, I guess. And me, Lukas Podpera, I will be with you guys to watch and comment and have fun and so on. So hopefully our guys are ready, so they will start playing very soon. So I guess the guys are slowly starting. So as I said, during the first maybe 1 or 2 games, I think I will be maybe able to as well show some variations and maybe comment a bit on the game during that. But once the games are getting faster and faster, it will become more and more difficult. So I think it will look more like a football commentary or something like that. So that's how we will try to proceed today. So first of all, I would like to say that these two players are actually recently not that active on a European stage, and they are not playing live tournaments that often, and I will soon tell why. So first of all, let's say a few words about Palko. So Palko was a first professional player made in Europe in 2014. He's actually still, back in the day, he was still the youngest. He made it at the age of 19 back in the day. So this record haven't been changed yet on European Go stage. And he was very successful at that time. He also became European champion, and recently he became a bit less active, mostly because of family reasons, I would say. But if he shows up once in a while in a tournament, he's still, of course, an amazing player with a super precise reading and a lot of fun games to watch for everybody. And he is famous on KGS with his Blitz account called Cheater. But in real life or in games, he's obviously not a cheater. He's an honest guy, and unlike others, well, we can say hello, Carlo Meta to Italy, right? Anyway, back to Palko. So Palko is very famous for his reading skills and blitz games, also, and so on. So hopefully he will show some of his skills today. So on the other side, we have Fredrik from Sweden. He's famous as Freda or Freda91 here. He's not only active on KGS on Blitz games, but he's also active on Fox. So we can see him online very often. And recently he's also not that active. He's busy with his job, and he's mostly playing only European Championship and Swedish Championship, as far according to my knowledge recently. But he's definitely not getting rusty. He's also playing almost every day, so he will be a very tough opponent for Palko, I think. And he actually, I don't think he ever won a big European tournament, but he was twice third on European Championship, which is also an amazing success, I would say. And one second on the European Grand Slam, if I remember correctly. So as I said, he's a very tough opponent and definitely one of the best amateur players in Europe. What's probably the most interesting fact I have prepared from this introduction is that these two played head-to-head unbelievable number of Blitz games on KGS. So at the moment, the current score, according to my low knowledge, is that Fred had 354 victories compared to Palko's 379 victories. So they together played something like 700 something games, if I'm counting correctly. So it's an unbelievable number. And of course, they played these together like in like last decade, let's say. So which still is making, simply unbelievable number of games. So we actually invited these two guys to actually advertise the next edition of Factorios Pico Championship, which will happen in the autumn, as I said. And so far we had two editions. We had first one in 2024 with only 8 players. Then in 2025 we had the second one with 16 players already. Most of them were 6 dan and stronger. And most of the matches were super interesting. Actually, myself, I did fairly well. I would say like in the first edition I won. In the second edition I lost in the finals against Mateusz Surma. And but I really wonder how the tournament would be if Freda and Palko would have played in those. So hopefully they will join us in the autumn edition, because that will just make the field even more massive. So how did we actually get this tournament? So we have a sponsor, and his name is Michal Kovařík, who is a Czech 2-dan player. And actually, this is not known so much in the Go community that he's actually behind the famous video game Factorio, which has been sold something like 8 million copies worldwide, as far as I heard. So it's undoubtedly one of the most popular strategic video games ever, I would say. So Michal is actually a sponsor of not only this. Actually, we are very lucky to have him in the Czech Go community. And this was so he's the sponsor of this tournament, and he's ready to do that again and again. So we are very grateful, and we are really looking forward to host another edition. And the idea of this format of Speed Go tournament came by Ondřej Kruml, 6-dan player from Czechia, who also is behind the scenes today as well. But in the previous editions, he was also organizing, streaming, and so on. I was also a bit operating in the background as an organizer, but mostly as a player. But thanks to Ondřej, we have this amazing stream setup and so on. And you can also ask him questions in the chat. He's there under the nickname Scourge10. But of course, I'm also reading the chat as well, so I can answer the question too, mostly regarding the game. So I would also like to say that we are planning to make this event a bit bigger, like in many ways, not only in like technical things, but also in like organizer stuff and so on. So we are also looking for dedicated streamers, producers. We are normally paying €100 per one stream. So I think this can be motivating. So if somebody is interested, especially strong players and good streamers, we are looking forward to welcome you in our team. And by the way, I shouldn't forget that there are also prizes today for these two players. And they are automatically getting €20 for participation. They are also getting €20 every win per every win in this match, and they are also getting €40 extra for the winner of this. What's actually really cool today is that the match cannot end too early, because what can happen in the Speed Go Championship is that the match can end with 3-0 score and it's over. Like the remaining two games are not being played. But as far as I know, today all of the 5 games will be played in any case. Uh, so we will enjoy a lot of fun. So hopefully I didn't forget anything regarding the introduction and so on. And now let's enjoy the game and let's see what is happening. As we can see that so far the pace is not super hectic. Let's say, as I said, with 5 minutes basic time and mostly with 8-second increment, I think you can still play a very good quality game. Right, like 8 seconds is not that little, and also if you really need to play some variation fast or add some extra time, then I think you can actually add some more time relatively quickly. So the game quality might be still quite good so far. The game is absolutely even. Nothing so much special happened. Honestly, I was not that familiar with the variation in the bottom left, but it looks all logical, and otherwise not much super interesting is happening. So I would like to actually say one thing about Palco. Palco actually discovered something in Europe way ahead of everybody, and that's first half of the game almost doesn't matter. And or I mean, it matters, of course. Like it's good to have a comfortable game and good strategy and so on, but it's not the decisive field. And so that's why Palco has always been playing like very fast in the beginning, no matter what were the time settings. Like no matter if there were weekend tournaments with some regular time settings, or it was a European Championship with let's say 2 hours of basic time. So he was normally playing very fast in the beginning, playing like kind of relaxed, whatever, and then normally start a fight at some moment of the game, and spare the time for exactly of these super important moments. And that's, I feel like, most of strong players in Europe discovered with arrival of AI, because AI showed us that we can do almost whatever in the beginning. But yeah, my feeling is that Palco actually discovered this way ahead of others. So that's why he was also a super strong tournament player, like immediately after he became pro. By the way, some more extra interesting stuff. Me and Palco are basically same age. We were both born 95, so we were like going and climbing together when we were young players, and mostly, let's say, we can even say like sharing the medals in our youth categories, because normally one of us won the championship like in under 20, like when we were teenagers, and he's exactly 5 days younger than me. So, and Freda is a bit older than us. Yeah, he's like 3 or 4 years older, if I remember correctly. But at some point, I think he was also with us in the youth competitions, like 1 or 2 decades ago or something. So, and eventually he also became a super good player. So, yeah. So, so something started to happen on the board, and we can see it exactly at this moment. We can see it exactly at this moment, and when White decided to Kosumitsuke at Q13, and I'm not sure. I mean, how much Black was actually provoking White into this fight. but eventually white actually went through black's formation like this, and black connected. White went out, black went out, white jumps, black jumps, and then white and goes like this. Actually, to me, peep here is relatively stubborn. If I'm white, I would most likely finish up the shape just like this, and groups are kind of like floating around and chilling, and the fight is not that getting like that severe. Yeah, peep and push is interesting. Like, again, I mean, I played Palco so many times in my life that I'm not really surprised that he's aggressively taking liberties of the opponent's stones. He's also attacking very severely with another move here at J13, which personally I would call really suspicious, but I believe he knows what he's doing. I mean, he's leaving a lot of weakness around like this area, like here, like we can hardly actually call this a territory yet, like here and here. On the other hand, he's also leaving space for black to attack in this area. And in this area, black might want to set up some kind of attacking, because this stick here is not really weak at the moment. So I think it should be kind of okay for black at the moment. So as I said, I mean, the previous move, to me it felt suspicious. Like I would probably just either extend here if something locally, but I feel like white should probably start adding some stones to this group as well. Like white also didn't answer black's kick at the bottom left. Like white didn't answer here or here at S4 or S5. So that's why I think white left some weakness behind. So white played here, black played this one, and white played like this. So black is attacking. So I was talking a lot about Palco, like about this reading ability and understanding like what's important in the game. That it's not for the first half, but it's the second half and fight and precise end game as well. But I didn't talk that much about Freda. So Freda is, I mean, he can fight, of course, he can bite the opponent, but more like he's also a player who is a bit waiting for his opportunity. Like, for example, when me and Freda are reviewing games, like at European Championship, for example, we are often speaking the same language. Like we like proper shapes, like not do, let's say, moves over the line too early in the game, and we are actually normally having very similar ideas. And if we play a tournament game, the games are usually very close. So so quite often no major fight is happening. It's been a while I played him actually. It's been a while. We also don't play Blitz that often. I should probably challenge him for a game at some point. Anyway, so his last move, not yet last move. We need to move a bit forward in the review. So Palco cuts. So when black cuts back, white plays here, black attaches and white extends. So Palco starts to play really aggressive here. So we can actually see that he's leaving 1, 2, maybe even like 3 weaknesses here over here. I need to go back here. So there is a lot of stuff black can actually try to do, how to make his inside group stronger, or maybe try to make this attacking backfired for white. So at the moment, yeah, black still has some time. White also has some time. The pace is not getting that super fast. But if this would be like a game with the more difficult time settings, like let's say game 3 with 6 minutes, 3 minutes and 6 seconds time, then it probably might become a bit tougher. Yeah, so white captures in the ladder and black cuts. So black actually didn't look for some harsh punishment, which might also end end up in a disaster for Black. I mean, Black also needs to be quite careful. I mean, these two guys just know each other too well. I mean, as I said, they played together exactly like 750 games or something. So Freda knows that if he goes like all in against Palco, it can easily backfire. Yeah, so White is still trying to harass the Black's group a bit, but I think the attacking will be over quite soon because Black is creating two eyes very swiftly. But on the other hand, White doesn't have to be unhappy because we can see that White kind of turned all of this into territory. Of course, there are still a little bit of weakness, but I think we can mostly count all of this area as a territory. So White actually did okay with the attacking. Also, we can see that White's group in this area is still relatively healthy. I mean, of course, White already played capture the ladder here. That's true. Which and managed to run away with the group, but still Black can manage to get some moves inside. So anyway, so now the pace is becoming faster. Yeah, Skurch was expecting more blood. I think we will get enough blood later. Don't worry. Especially when the faster games will be getting out of hand. So Black cuts here, and what is going on here? Because this cut doesn't seem to be working very well. I mean, if Black really won it, then Black maybe could have played something like a Kosumi here, or maybe Attach here. Black probably cannot kill White here or separate. Also, Black still also needs to be quite careful. Like Black, for example, cannot do this exchange so easily because there will be problems with eyes inside. So Black cannot attack here that severely, but still Black can actually annoy White over there. But if Black cuts here, what is going on after this? Not much. But I guess Black probably is looking for something more funny, like something like this, but it also doesn't seem to be a problem. So I really wonder what is going on here. Yeah, I mean, Black made life. Yeah, I mean, Black made 100% sure life. Well, we know from experience that if you don't live 100% with two eyes against Falco, you can always die somehow. You know that. So Black maybe wanted to make some safety, but of course Black also paid a bit here because now suddenly White has a bit of territory over there. So so now White actually made some gain here, but this extension not only White actually could just answer here and not much extra is happening, but what's the main problem here? The main problem actually is that White can Tenuki that, and we have seen in the game that White immediately Tenuki'd here. And the problem is that if Black plays this one, White plays here, Black cuts, White can actually go back and capture. There is no way to run away, right? For Black, so this is kind of a problem. Black can also get some points back like this. That's a possibility for sure, but it still doesn't change the fact that, of course, getting like another move in the game, which White got over here, it's extremely valuable. I mean, still Black can probably make life like in this area. That's probably a possibility, but it still doesn't change the fact that White can actually heavily harass Black over there. So this is what is happening. So now some blood is being spilled over here. By the way, before this stream, we had slightly small technical issues, mostly on my side, And it really feels like it was mostly because of a thunderstorm that is happening right now here in Prague, Czechia, but it's slowly fading away. But I have just heard a massive storm, so maybe it's still ongoing, but anyway, everything is fine right now. At least no incentive to be outside at the moment, and we can all enjoy this stream and fun together. So I was actually wondering if White could have played. Ah, no, couldn't. No, no, no. This one is correct. This one is correct. And Black plays this one. Okay. So if Black extends, then White would play this one, right? What's the problem? What's the problem here? I mean, yeah, there is some kind of squeeze, of course, but is it a big problem for Black? He still doesn't like to be squeezed and give center. Yeah, that's probably the problem. That's the reason why Black decided to directly play here, which maybe White didn't expect because this shape is a bit ugly, of course, but we know that empty triangles are not always bad. I mean, the great thing about Go is that when somebody explains you some kind of principle, let's say, then you don't always have to like take it's 100% true or it's 100% truth or it's like a dogma or something like that. Actually, normally if there is a principle which we should follow, well, we should follow it, but in most of the cases, not in 100% of the cases. So it's normally something like in 9 cases out of 10 or something like that. And this is also valid for empty triangles. I mean, we know a lot of situations when empty triangles can be good, right? So but this can be actually one of them. This can be actually one of them. Anyway, I was talking a lot about empty triangles and we should move forward. So White plays here, Black cuts, White connects, and Black captures, and White gets another center move here. Yeah, I feel like White is getting a major advantage here. I mean, I see that AI is saying only White +9, which is still something that can be reversed, especially on European stage. Because we all know how we can mess up, especially in time pressure, which still doesn't change the fact that White is actually enclosing a lot of territory, getting a lot of potential, and even though Black also closed a lot of the territory, Black cannot expand so much. I mean, Black cannot expand so much, and even if Black makes life over here, I'm not really sure if that will be enough. However, White is looking like he doesn't even want to let Black make life, but I have a feeling there will be enough center moves in the corner to get something. And but anyway, we have also seen that at some point Palko was in a massive time pressure, right? And how quickly he played this kind of sequence. I mean, this is exactly when he's like likely one of the best in Europe, if not the best. So, and we can see even though he's not playing live tournaments so much in recent years, he still hasn't lost this ability. Yeah. Quick thinking, both playing by shapes, but Black really urgently needs to do something over here. Because if Black dies, without any compensation, it's obviously the game over. What Black can try to do is some kind of hopeless call like this. But yeah, it looks kind of desperate. Probably Black will be looking for something more, or maybe not. Maybe I guessed it right. Let's see. We will see in a few moments. Yeah, I feel like this call is coming. Because what else? Or will White look for this one? Try to kill directly? Well, White can maybe do that, but Black will also have a lot of liberty. So there can be a lot of center moves in all the surroundings. So let's see. Now White suddenly went from 5 seconds to 1 minute. So at the moment, White can think for a moment. Yo, Tongi. Hey. So white is looking for a direct kill. But what is this? Wait, this is not working. This is actually not precisely working. I feel like white blundered here. White definitely blundered over here because white could have either cut and we can play this kind of, as I said, hopeless call a bit. But white could also play here. And if black has this one, this. Okay, like this, black would probably. What is going on after this? This one looks dead, but there can still be some agi on the outside. But this actually. Wait, what is going on? I think black missed his chance over here. I have a feeling because like what is going on after what is going on after this? Not only this is Sente and this absolutely matters in at this moment. Anyway, yeah, let's follow the game. Yeah, Freda is indeed very tall. I mean, I'm tall myself. I'm over 190, but probably Freda is the only European top player who is taller than me, I would say. Yeah, he's huge. So at the moment, it feels like black is dead, and the only hope for black at the moment is to make something on the outside. I mean, black is having a lot of liberties. Black still can use yeah, this bamboo, which has been played to increase the number of liberties. But black actually could have used it way better a few moments ago, and white would be in trouble because if black would make life, it wouldn't be game over, but white would be behind. At the moment, when black is dead and black just somehow doesn't make something out of it, then it will be likely game over because white is way ahead on points. We could see that giving actually white two moves over here on the left side was too much. That was too much. I mean, black managed to close the line at the bottom side, but actually taking center is very important. Taking center in those moments was very important. So white played the throw in, which I wonder why. But white is down on time right now. Well, both are down on time right now, actually. So yeah, yeah, absolutely true. What Scorch is saying. Like, if we go a bit back, let's say until like this moment or something, then this was supposed to be a very interesting center move. But since white has an eye and black is dead in the top left, then probably it doesn't have much effect. But it's that's actually true. I mean, that's a classic in this kind of bottom left variation when that this move is basically saying that if white doesn't answer, the next move at b3 can be devastating for white. So anyway, this is the current position. White is super comfortably ahead right now. So white even goes down like this. Well, he can probably afford to do that. White actually, if he really wanted to play like for sure win, white could also do like this. This probably would be like my approach, I think. Since white can play this in center and still get this super big move, which is always huge. I think this is also possible. Yeah. Uh, Anyway, even though white extended, as far as I know, the game is over, right? Black resigned. Well, so it proved to be too big to die in the top left and give two center moves on the left, which I have already said. So So I'm having a small break right now. The players will also take a small break, and we will be back in a few minutes. So stay here for watching more games. they were actually kind of in a time pressure relatively early. So the Fuseki is progressing quickly. I hope during the break that you guys enjoyed watching the final of the Strasbourg tournament, which is unfortunately in collision with us, but that can't be helped. Maybe when some players finish there, they will also join us here on the stream. Let's hope for that, because there are plenty of strong players participating there. So let's check the game. So we have actually seen a cross Fuseki, and cross Fuseki is actually something we don't see that often nowadays. But it happened in this game. I mean, it used to be quite popular to play like this, with this kind of placement of the Komokus. Also nowadays, we would probably normally expect that Black will finish up the shape like this. After the pins at R12, finishing the shape like this is very natural. We can find it in the pro games. However, Black played this one, and then White attached. This attachment, let me think. I see one problem behind this attachment, and that's a ladder. Because not all the necessary ladders are working for White here, and it's normally not advised to attach here when you don't have a ladder. So let's actually quickly check the variation. So the variation is normally like this. And there is a problem that White cannot play this so easily, because there is no ladder. There is no ladder here in this direction because of this stone, which is a very nicely placed ladder breaker. So the thing White would have to do in this case is to extend here. It's slightly worse, of course, than capturing a stone in ladder, but as far as I know, it's possible. I recently learned that this is actually possible, because now these two stones are getting a bit weaker. So it's a possibility. So most likely Freda knows. And also, Palko didn't answer aggressively this time, and he answered just in a moderate way with 4. Yeah, Palko is a happy father of 2, as far as I know. So maybe he also got a bit more patient at the big, thanks to that. But who knows? Anyway, so Black played like this. White extended. Black starting to attack. White plays here and Black plays here. I was actually expecting White is going to exchange a few pushes here and then play here. This would probably be more standard, because if White plays here, this move is really big. This move is really big for Black, but Black decided to be more severe, and White goes through like this and Black goes down. So White creates this classic scorpion shape. It's very popular nowadays. I feel like when you are like settling a group, then if you are not sure what to do, just make a scorpion shape like this. Sorry, like, and then you add the move here. You get this kind of like, yeah, funny looking shape. But actually, this funny looking shape is actually quite strong, and also it's still leaving edges like at F3 and so on. And so White kind of forced Black to play the Atari. White also got the stone at J2, which can be slightly more useful than at J2. Sorry, at H2. So it's not that easy for Black to actually attack this formation. But Black has probably only one option here. I mean, Black can only yeah. So White's aim is also to make these two guys weak, right? Like, these two guys are not super strong at the moment. There is a big gap between them. They don't have that many center moves. So now Black is already thinking for a while, and according to the camera, he doesn't seem to be happy. But after all, he extended, which, as I said, I feel like it's one of the, I mean, almost only option here. There could be a small trap set up. Go back. actually doesn't work. But if white actually gets this exchange somehow, or if white got this exchange before somehow, then this can be this kind of trap. But this will obviously not happen. So white played came over here, and black just jumped. Honestly, at this moment, it wouldn't be easy to find the next move, because as I said, there is a big gap between the two black stones. I would have a feeling that the star point stone at k4 might have problems. So maybe it would be better to discard it. It's relatively light. My first intention would be probably to attach here. I'm not sure if it's good. Like if white plays here, we have this Hane, right? I mean, we can come back to a classic Joseki, and or if white extends, black can probably like quickly set up like this and create a group somehow, and maybe play a core or something. Or black can also, and black has also some other options. So that's probably what I would do. Balpalco decided to jump, which is definitely not bad, just a bit harder to handle, I think. And then white plays like this. If I'm white, I would probably once make this exchange, like to prevent all kinds of ladders and so on, because they could appear there at some point. Instead, white played this one and black jumps. Well, black cannot give white so many points at the bottom side, so it's quite logical that black actually tries to revive this stone. And black is running and running. Black is a good runner, as far as I know. Black is also a great football player in real life. So he knows how to run with this kind of groups, or in general, I would say. So black could also consider to Hane, or more like this, and this, which would not be easy for white to cut. I mean, white would probably have to, but yeah, it's not easy for white. It's not easy for white to play this kind of fight. So maybe black could have played a bit more severe. Hey Mike, glad to see you here. Yeah, and true. Freda's emotions are sometimes funny, but honestly, Palco's faces are also cool. I mean, and also since we haven't seen these players playing in the previous two editions of this tournament, then you can enjoy them for the first time to see how they look during the game. But yeah, both of them are actually making pretty funny faces, I think. So if I mean today's games are definitely not boring. I mean none of them. But if you would be bored of Go, you can just watch their faces and you will have enough fun, I think. Yes, Tongi, I was cheering for Arsenal yesterday. I was in the cinema actually. Yeah, sad ending, but still proud. It's okay. Don't worry. Uh, yeah, these guys are playing 2 seconds blitz on KGS usually, as Mike's mentioning here. Um, I wonder. Probably game 3 or 4, I think. Like 5 is brutal already. It's 1 minute plus 4 seconds. But this one, 4 plus 7, still relatively okay. Still relatively okay. I think game 3 or 4, so most likely 2 minutes plus 5 seconds, probably. Game 4, I think that might be equivalent to their usual pace. And we know from previous editions of this tournament that game 4 and 5 are usually heating up, kind of. So anyway, so black plays this one, tries cut, and then captures. No, these key exchanges are definitely not good. I mean, no, 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 no. I wouldn't do this. I mean, if black really wanted to capture here, then I would do it directly for sure. Proud of the results. You know, Chongi, I'm also parking a bus on the go board. So I'm not ashamed if my football teams are also parking the bus and waiting for opportunity. Yeah. Valerian Stash are a classic. On the other hand, I think I'm something like tier X or something like that because I'm totally boring during game. So yeah, but indeed, Valerian Stash are okay. I wonder why Keima. I would jump. Predictions. Yeah. By the way, Scourge, when we have this advertisement stream mostly for Factorio and Speedgo Championship and also the skills of these players, you could also advertise Gortuna here since you are just talking about predictions and betting is about predictions, so Gortuna might also have space here, I think. And this kind of fast tournaments are absolutely ideal for that, I would say. Anyway, so Fred actually decided to rumble here with Palco and goes directly to cut with an ugly shape, but it might actually work. And then White just plays here. White could just extend. Well, White was taking away liberties, but White could just extend, I think. Uh, but now when I'm looking at it, actually, if Black plays what? This? It's not that easy for White anymore. Yeah, then probably this one makes sense. Gortuna will be used for European Championship. Pretty cool. Shape-wise, this move doesn't look right, I think. Because this move doesn't have any continuation on like White's Ponuki corner in the bottom right. And yeah, it doesn't look like it will have enough. Black will have enough eye shape inside. So if I'm Black, I mean, I would probably jump for second line might look possibility. Before I suggested this one, but this is still a problem. This one might be a possibility, maybe. But anyway, Black played this one. White plays here. White plays this one, connection, capture. White plays here, cuts off the tail. And Black tries to get something out of it over here and still tries to live. And Black plays at the top right. Yeah, I feel like White is gained here because White is not about to die at the top right, and White will at least create a semi-eye with the group on the right with S6 or something. I like White can maybe even do it directly, and the tail at the bottom is captured at the moment. So White got a massive gain here in this local situation. It's a blitz game, so obviously it's not over, but White might be getting an advantage here. Yeah, actually, as far as I know, the bracket actually might be decided in the next few days for the European Championship. And this year, the European Championship will be held in Turkey, and somehow there is much less interest than usual. So this year, maybe even like some young four-dan players might enter. And once you are, let's say, a five-dan player, you will surely get in it this year. Normally, as a five-dan, you might need a wild card or something if you are young. But as I said, this year it might go way lower. A lot of EGF pros and even top amateurs will be missing. The top 32 might actually feature some really unexpected faces uh, presented to the world. But anyway, actually, yeah, the bracket is closed in the next few days, but also the ratings can still change actually up to like 1 week before the European Championship. Uh, so if somebody like a top player signs up last minute, normally he has to wait if somebody doesn't show up. Yeah, normally there is no other option, or get a wild card or something. But usually you have a lot of time to agree or something. So it's advised to just sign up and then maybe sign off, but definitely it's simply too late to like sign up in July or something. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so what we are looking here, why Black is desperately trying to find out something. We can also see that Palco is really low on time here, but I have a feeling White simply has too many liberties. So what is going on after going down? If White goes down, what Black can do? Black goes here, White kills. So Black goes this one, White connects, Black goes here, and this is just a call which Black needs to win multiple times. So this doesn't seem to be promising for Black. So Black is trying to get a liberty with S4 card, which is a classic Tesuji. Forget about it when playing a semi. Actually, Tongi, when you are asking, Mike can sign up anytime. I mean, if Mike comes to EGC anyway, he will not be playing European Championship. He will be playing in the Open. And for the Open, I think you can even sign up on the venue and play in the Super Group if you are playing all 10 rounds. So that one should be no problem. Yeah, the European Championship bracket is only closing like at least like a month in advance or something. So back to the game. Back to the game. Black is waiting now a bit with the co, which is set up there, but White has 5 liberties right now, so Black cannot set it up directly. So now Black is trying to get something from the outside, which is giving him some gain. Like O12 will also be center, but White seems to be confident right now. Like we can see the last move, like the just one space jump. White is chilling here. And well, as far as I'm watching the camera on my phone, he's not chilling, but on the board he's chilling. Yeah, Atari in center. Black will need to do some invasion. Yeah, this probably is Black's only hope, like to make some mess at the top side. Like this is still a really huge area to play for over here. So I think it's still possible to create some mess over there, but White would probably have to die there. Or Black would have to like get some massive game there. But it doesn't seem to be very likely at the moment. Yeah, Mike, you can come next year to EGC. It will be in the Netherlands. So easier to reach from the US as well, I think. As I said at the beginning of the stream, like when I am playing or Freda is playing, I feel like we are speaking similar language. I mean, I like how he's handling his groups here. Like maybe not always trying to play the strongest move anymore, but he knows he's good right now, so he's just making sure nothing happens. But here comes Black with taking the liberty. So let's see if White directly goes to play a core. One thing I haven't mentioned about Palco. Palco is likely the best co-fighter in Europe, I would say. I mean, it's unbelievable what kind of games he can turn around in a co. So once it's a co there, he knows there is still always hope. Also, he's one of the few European players who knows complicated shapes like Carpenter Square and so on. Usually, he doesn't make a mistake over there. Recently, I learned even Chinese pros are making mistakes in a Carpenter Square, but Palco normally doesn't. So let's see if we get the Carpenter Square tonight. But yeah, it's not that common. So now White still has 3 minutes on the clock, which is plenty of time. It's super comfortable in this tournament. So that's why White is taking his time right now. So white decided not to continue the call, so white played this one. And black plays here, which also gives him extra opportunity in the call. So there is a fight going on the left, and and black feels a chance. Black feels a chance. By the way, Mike Heineken is disgusting and expensive as well. So here in this situation, white will have to be really careful about liberties as well. But this is the strongest move at b18. Black probably can hardly make a local life, but black somehow could get enough liberties and eventually play here. This will be like a key point. If black would be able to make life inside, then it would be a major gain for black because then this crew would not be alive anymore, and it would be like running in this direction into black's ocean. And I guess this kind of fish wouldn't survive over there. So if black makes some kind of magic and creates life in the top left corner, then white would be in a big trouble. But at the moment, it doesn't seem to be very likely. So black goes back, white goes back, black plays here, throws in, and takes away white's eye shape, but white can run easily. White can run out easily. I think this throw-in wasn't an option. I think black still should have tried this one. So what happens next? This one, and then white probably takes away an eye shape over here. Black plays Atari, white plays this one, black captures, and then what? This, 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 this one. Yeah, actually, like this, black would be probably able to capture white. On the other hand, white's corner got super strong. So if white gets super strong like this, he can probably start some kind of attacking of the top side group, and in the center, then destroy some territory thanks to the attacking. So yeah, so black likely had an option to capture, or at least create a core or something. But after this, yeah, this looks like a desperation already. Yeah, here black really went very far already, like trying to kill this top left. Aha, Skurch is mentioning core threats. Yeah, core threats, true story, but don't forget the core on the right is not a direct one, so it's not that extremely huge. And also black is paying already so hard in the top left corner that it might not be worth it. But yeah, probably he might still be setting up the core on the right side, but I don't think it will change hands or change the outcome of this game. Dongi, you are a bit harsh on the US, I would say. We know how is the presidency over there, which I shouldn't mention because normally we don't discuss politics over here. But yeah, I've been in the US last year and it was okay. I felt fine there. By the way, there are a lot of stories about like the US border control, right? Actually, last year when there was WAGC in Vancouver, Canada, Canada's border control was way more annoying and way more strict than in the US. Just by the way. Yeah, but otherwise, of course, Canada was amazing. I mean, I cannot say a bad word about it, but the border control was stressful and annoying. So anyway, back in the game. Is black trying to set up another core here? But, well, white is having tons of liberty, so it doesn't seem to be very likely. Yeah. Yeah, if black wants to set up the core on the right, then it's a direct core, right? Right now it's already a direct core. True. So what is going on? This? Yeah, white is just removing everything very quickly. I mean, here probably white played slightly suboptimal, but if white somehow manages to clean the top left corner, then white should be okay. And but I wonder, and I need to make some score estimation what happens if, let's say, white captures the top left and black captures the right. But on first feeling, I think white should be totally alright, because we shouldn't forget how far did white walk over here. I mean, he basically destroyed almost all of the black's biggest territory. So, yeah, now black is setting up the core, but I don't think it will change much. Yeah, you absolutely should, Tongi. Fly over the ocean. Yeah, so core is ongoing. I wonder if white even needs to get that much. I don't know. I mean, can white do something like this? Let be captured, capture 4 stones, clean up everything, top left. That's it. Mostly. I would probably play like this. I mean, black would most likely connect because he doesn't have any other choice. But yeah, I mean, white seem to be sacrificing the right side easily because, as first of all, it's a core. What black needs to spend 2 moves there, and second of all, white already entered a big part of black's territory at the bottom left. Black paid all of that just in order to set up the right side core. It's extremely expensive. But this core threat is slightly clumsy, I would say, because black actually can fight against that like he did in the game. Maybe setting up another core. If black sets up another core, it would become a total madness already, because we can see a core on the top left, core is on the right side, core is on the top. Yeah, this is probably a wise decision because in theory, black could actually play here. I mean, of course, it's not correct, but in theory, we can imagine that white is actually not 100% alive there. Yeah, anyway, so black actually finishes up the core and white just adds another stone over here. And now black's group at the top side is not alive at all. Yeah, so wedge. So white is not even trying to kill over here because we can see that black can make life, maybe even in center. But well, it's probably enough for white. I mean, unless black creates some kind of madness with the core of the group on the left side. But yeah, this toothpaste over here will not die. I mean, it has just too many liberties. Yeah, so we are playing the variation I suggested. Black playing this endgame, which is of course killing some Aji, but there is probably nothing else black can do. So black will probably start taking the liberties right now. So how many steps go? So if black plays here, white will connect, black will play this one, white will play this one. Actually it's only 2-step core. It's only 2-step core, which is not that much, but still white has eventually a local core threat over here if necessary. So it's still a bit of hope. Well, but this extension, well, it looks a bit naive because black is separating 2 living groups over here. But yeah, black is just looking for core threat somehow. For white, the game is still cannot be closed so easily because there are actually two ways how to make a call. I mean, there are two calls that can be fought. So it would really take a lot of time for White to clean it up. So White still has to look over his shoulder, like all the time, kind of. So White starts cleaning up the core. Let's park the bus and finish up the game. But there is still a core over there, so maybe Black seeks some opportunity. But what's actually pretty interesting is that Black is all the time low on time, but White is still totally fine. White is still totally fine with time. Yeah, so White rather is closing the door right now. So it's three-step core right now for Black. Can Black find a core thread? Well, Black will find a core thread, but likely will not have enough. White actually can answer this one. With actually multiple options. Yeah, this looks like a good answer because it also increases the local core thread. Yeah. So White just needs to win the core somehow without dying big somewhere or something. I think eventually what can happen is that these five could be discarded at some point. Of course, not directly, but at some point they might be discarded because that could be still enough points for White. Yeah, this is a good core threat. So White doesn't want to give any in. It's like, yeah, as it was mentioned here, like nobody knows Falco better than Freda. Yeah, it was on -50, but it was something like -37 if I remember correctly. Yeah, so it's still, of course, unbelievable. I still remember there was like some European Championship like 10 years ago game in quarterfinals where when Palko was more than 40 points behind with Ali, and he still made it a game and eventually lost by half. That was kind of insane. Yeah, so who else can do this than him, especially in a fast time setting game? Opa. So this one is obviously also a minus score threat locally. But maybe White is trying to read if he can actually Tenuki it, and maybe he actually can. Can he? This? And then this? Ah no, that like this I die. I'm stupid, so this cannot happen. So this, this one, and the Ko. Okay, Ko is dangerous. Ko is dangerous. So White answers. So White answers, and White is White also gain points like this. So White can also create some extra core threads by playing here, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea right now. Yeah, this is the complexity of the core. So White actually captures the core back on the right side. That's good. Yeah, Black still created some core thread at the top side, so he's paying everything to get something out of this. Yeah, I can also just try to make life like this and get some points. Yeah, but this is but white is taking some time. Well, he has time, so he can absolutely do it. So white just keeps over here. This may be a time for black to take a liberty because this one is not 100% or not 100% center on anything. Hmm. But I feel like this is black's last available core threat. Right now, white would be probably advised to cut here, which is also not only big on points, but it might also have to help this group to later continue after something like this. Then white might be actually able to cut this center off. So cutting here actually might make sense. So let's see if white is gonna do it. Yeah, so it's first time white is taking some time here. Maybe finally chilling a bit on the camera as well. But yeah, so actually instead white played from this side, making sure there is nothing at the top. Also aiming for cutting off the center. Yeah, actually relatively similar because as I said, like later I also wanted to play here anyway, so it actually helps a bit. So now white needs to pray black doesn't find some totally destroying core threat. But so black is trying to bluff N2, but N2 is not working. N2 has no chance for making this work. So this like this throws in. There is no way black can win this on liberties. No way. So this was just a bluff. So white can just start filling liberties. And 2-0, yeah. So white is taking, so white is taking some time. Let's see if he plays my sequence. You can probably even just play Kosumi here. It might also work. Take some liberties and get some liberties from the outside. But I think cut and squeeze easier. Like more straightforward. Yeah. So everything went through. Can Palco still find some magic? I doubt it here. I absolutely doubt it here. Uh, Now we can see on the cameras that Falco also feels like it's probably over here. Yeah, it takes time to close this kind of game. Yeah, I know that very well from my experience. Yeah, yeah. Falco's aim is to also make the opponent tired. That's for sure, and that's what matters in this kind of series. Yeah. So black is still trying to take away liberties on the outside. Not much happening. If black cuts, just nothing. Black jump, nothing. So another core, but let's be honest, like there is not much black can do on this core. Yeah, so black still tries another core, which will be two-step this time, but all the positions are just so solid everywhere that there is no way for anybody to make a bigger core threat than the core is. So we can see why Threader starts cleaning it up. But black is still not losing hope. It's like okay, so we have resignation over here. So the score is tight, 1-1. A spectacular game from the start till the end, a lot of calls and so on. White was probably having the upper hand most of the time. Black probably went a bit too far on the right and on the left as well. So Freda actually punished the overplays quite well, I have to say, and all the complications and so on. So we have 1-1 score. I will go off for a few minutes again, give these guys a bit of rest, and we will be back in a few minutes. Maybe there is still a Strasbourg final game ongoing. Let's see. So see you in a few minutes. Okay, so we are back with the third game. Again, the colors are switched. So we have Fredrik as black and Palko as white. And so uh, for viewers that have just joined us a few minutes ago, the score is tied 1-1. So far, we had two already thrilling games, and time settings are lowering again. So in this game, we go with 3 minutes basic time and seconds in increment. And so it might be heating up slowly. We can also see Palko with two Sansan Fuseki, which is something he has actually been trying in his in his recent active years quite often. He won some tournaments with that. So he's trying it again. It's like a solid cash oriented strategy. Sansan is actually something that came back recently a bit, like in the pro games as well. You can find it. Or recently, we also have a new wave of strong Chinese amateur players, mostly studying in the United Kingdom, who are actually playing Sansans quite often as well. So Sansan is definitely coming back to fashion. Yeah. So very quick Fuseki from our players so far. Yeah, they know that the time settings are speeding up. They need to save time for more important moments, and there are in the end some there are very early fights starting on the right side. So I'm a bit surprised about Freda's move over here, which is also something I didn't know. It's actually a good move before, but honestly, I would most likely just finish the shape like this and then play something like this. Looks like a normal continuation. I probably wouldn't be able to find the use of this move. I have a feeling that this cut is just too severe. I have a feeling that just this cut is too severe, and I don't think that Black is able to directly capture these two stones. I mean, they still seem to have a lot of agi, so I probably wouldn't be so convinced of this strategy. But White didn't feel like the cut is that urgent, so this happened. Extension, and Black protects, and White cuts Atari and over here. So White starts to cut like this, and I have a feeling that Black actually overplayed here. I mean, normally it's Palko the one who actually goes over the line the first and challenging the opponent, but here Freda maybe goes a bit too far with the challenge, because if Black goes back here, anyway, it's very likely that White will cut Atari like this, because this kind of train here can be actually a bit of problem for Black, but I mean, it's probably still playable. But if this exchange happens first, and then Black goes here, and then all of this happens, it's definitely not a good exchange for Black, I think. Like, White is getting liberties and can do stuff over here. So I think Black went a bit too far. But White wants more. White extends first. So now the train goes. Was this exchange any good right now? Not sure. I probably wouldn't do it. But so Black is going to capture White at the top side. So Black is enclosing quite a lot, but we shouldn't forget that there is a lot of agi going on, like a lot of problems. So what I also White could have done just right now is to play something like this and try to enclose this on the right side, just to get some kind of compromise. But Palco normally doesn't compromise, so he's going out with these stones immediately. And let's see if Black can get enough from this kind of attacking right now. Like, this is like when you are playing with Palco, it's like he's giving you puzzles. Like, he's giving you puzzles, and you can maybe solve 1, 2, 3, and maybe gain during the process. But then there is a puzzle number 4, which matters the most, and it's normally the decisive one. So, and once you die once and big enough, obviously the 3 puzzles before might not matter so much. So, so this is normally the business we get to when we play Palco. Anyway, so White cross cuts, and Black actually enters this combination, which is normally okay, but here it might actually give white quite comfortable life. If I'm black, the first thing that would probably come to my mind is to play like this. Because I know that white can probably go out this kind of way, but can I like counter attack and attack like this from the outside? Probably I can, I think. We know that this Sun is cannot be hurt that much in the top left. So I will mark it over here. But white's group at the top side can be in trouble. So I'm not sure if this is the best way what black could have done. Now if white just wait, I wanted to just block. Why not just block? Well, white eventually did it, but with the exchange. Is this exchange any good? I don't think so. Like it gives white more space to live, but on the other hand, mm, I have a feeling the Ponuki is good for black. Like still overall the result is probably fine for white, but I wouldn't be able to give such a Ponuki directly. I would like to still leave the edges. So black plays here. Cutting here is big. Oh, sorry. Cutting here is big. Cutting here is really big. Also the descent is kind of center on the corner right now. Black also could have connected here before, but white wants more. White wants more than just a descent, so white is relying on his reading ability and believe that he can overread black early in the game already when nobody is under time pressure yet. So I think like entering this Sun is definitely an overplay. Like it's definitely an overplay, but this is the kind of overplay which we are likely not strong enough to always punish, at least not in Europe. Of course, like if Palko would play like that in Asia, like in top world tournaments, he wouldn't end up well. Like he would be punished for sure, especially with slow time settings. But if it's fast time settings, and especially Europe, we are often not strong enough to find a solution away from these kind of problems. So let's see from what Freda finds out, but he needs to be really careful about this kind of cutting point. So most likely he even has to make a bamboo, which white will probably answer. And then what? Like the thing is, even after this Kosumi, if he like kills white inside, white can get really lot of Sentemus. Like black will very quickly have to start capturing. And white gets like all of these endgames. White might also get N18. So that's the problem. That's the also the risky part. Like black not only needs to find out a way how to make a living shape inside, but also not only to live, but also to make sure that white will not get enough moves. But this move, this move actually is a Tesuji quite often in a lot of games, and it might actually create troubles, but not in this game. I think not in this game. So white could block. White would definitely block. I mean, this wouldn't hurt black. I think. Sorry, this wouldn't hurt white himself for sure. Like black would still have to do a lot of stuff inside. But if this happens, this turn of course helps white a lot, and white only jumps. If white plays here, of course there is a problem with this clamp, which white cannot just answer by going down because suddenly there is a huge shape trouble after this jump. But if white jumps, black plays here. Black is getting a lot of unexpected liberty. So what might actually be also the outcome is that white lives somehow in the corner. Sorry, not with this shape this time. This time most likely like this. But it still doesn't change the fact that black can live on the right side. And it can be maybe good enough compensation. So some unnecessary troubles for white. I think for white it was much easier to make something over there. My web camera is moving a bit. I need to do something like that. Anyway. Empty triangle. Yeah, we have been talking about empty triangles today, right? Sorry, something is wrong with my web camera. I need to move it and place it more precisely. So hopefully it should be all right now. Now it's fine. Now it's perfect. So I'm sorry for small technical issues. I probably accidentally touched the table or something and moved it a bit. Anyway, now it should be all right. Anyway, back to the game. So what happened in the process? So I decided to make life as quickly as possible, and Black had to connect here to make an eye, and White plays here. Black goes back, and White will probably just Atari over here. Like, of course, Black can still kill White inside, but there is plenty of liberties. Like, the thing is, if Black goes to kill White, White will descend, and there will be plenty of liberties after this. Like, this kind of like dead 5 shape of ends up like, of course, White is dead, but there is plenty of liberties, like 10 liberties right now, or even more. So that's why I have a feeling that Black might be back in troubles again. So what did Black do bad? I think Black played badly here with Q15. Like I think Black simply needs to extend like no matter what and add liberty. At the moment, I don't see any other option. But we have it here in the game that Black is extending to the side. Well, what happens if White plays here? If White plays here, then Black looks actually dead locally, because right now there is no way how to make eyes over here, so Black will not do this. Black can probably go like this and try to kill. The problem for Black is that White's eye is too big. I guess I think I can mention for our mostly for our Q players viewers that it's really important who has a bigger eye in semi-eye, because you can make the counting of liberties much easier in a way that all of the shared liberties belong to a player that has a bigger eye, or if has an eye over no eye. So this is very important rule in the semi-eye, which absolutely matters. So this kind of big eye is something what White is relying on. So White plays like this, Black plays here, and White goes here. Why? Why didn't White just play like this at the moment? Because at the moment, Black also feels to have a lot of liberties, but there is also a lot of throw-ins. And we also shouldn't forget that at the top right, White's eye will always be a huge one. White's eye will always be a huge one. So White probably didn't have to make it that complicated like this. Black got a lot of liberties like this as well. Like, the thing is that Black can also capture, force White to play here, and jump in this somewhere in this direction, or maybe even get some liberties like this. So the semi might not actually be that clear. But yeah. Anyway, I remember somebody was calling for more blood. Here we have it enough already in the first quarter of the board. So Black decided not to kill here and play like this, which is something that he's asking White if he's ready for a compromise. Well, Palko is not ready for compromise, but if White plays like this and Black cliffs, then probably is some kind of compromise and relatively even results which both sides would accept. Palko wants to enter this core, because the thing is that if White loses this core, there can be a problem here in the corner, and White can also die and play a core for his life. So Black starts another core, so I guess we will have enough core madness. So right now White lives inside. Black still has to play here and play core for his life, and that's what's happening. I have a feeling that this is kind of a flower core right now for White. Of course, White played a lot on the right side. That's for sure. Like, it used to be White's huge territory, and now suddenly Black actually penetrated all of that on the first line. But But on the other hand, white can also get very strong on the outside. Like if white gets to play something like this, like some kind of geta, forces black to leave, and then comes back to some big move like this one, I think white should be fine. White should be fine. So let's see if Palko comes down and he tries to push the core further. Both players are starting to be low on time very early on. Well, so this might give us more entertaining stuff as well. So white plays this one, which is more ambitious move than I thought. So black just decides to leave, and white will probably go to continue at the bottom side. But the thing is that there is a Kosumi shape, and the Kosumi shape like this normally is very strong, like it can survive for quite a while. So white probably cannot attack it properly. It still doesn't change the fact that the game is probably good for white. At some point, black will be looking for activating this Agi, but again, it doesn't look very likely. Black might be also looking for this move for sure. That's a pretty big one as well. It's almost center. And white goes down. So white is always challenging white, like and asking, dare you Tenuki here? Dare you not answer? What if you don't answer? Can I, do you believe I can kill you? Yeah, these are like really unpleasant questions which are extremely difficult to answer when you are low on time, like when you are not sure, when you are not sure about your decision. So black plays like this. If I'm black, I would most likely settle like this because I want to keep the cutting points alive. So I think black was a bit passive over here. So white comes back here and black approaches and white directly breaks the line over here. So so white is looking for group status here. Like here, E15 wasn't a move played for territory or something. It's actually even leaving some Agi. Actually, the start point Agi is pretty annoying, but he's maybe even looking for all of this of not being alive. You know, middle game is more about groups than about points. So so groups is what matters, and Palko doesn't want anything on the board safe right now. So so he also approaches. I mean, both players know that even though white is good, the game is far from being decided. I mean, both are at around 10 to 20 seconds time right now, so they have to play quite fast. So even though there is some territory difference, all what matters is now the fight on the left. The current score doesn't matter. So this one, Kosumi, and white takes back. So this one was played very quickly. Very interesting sequence actually. So black activates Agi, then white activates Agi. So black tries to take over the corner, but white tries to take over the outside. And white's dream of making the group in the center not alive is actually kind of coming true. It was not unrealistic, I would say. So black actually left the group in the center over there. On the other hand, black of course erased white's corner in the top left. Now suddenly black has over 10 points over there. We can see that even Sun corner occupation can die like that. Black has some suspicious stones on the over here, and right now white is attacking the center, and that's all what he always wanted to do. Yeah, white needs to answer for sure. And black will probably have to run to the hills and run for his life at the moment. But he doesn't want to run yet. He decided to cut. And so white is like trying to take some profit, which looks like center. And black capture. So actually black is not far from being alive right now. White will of course not be so crazy to start killing by K14. But white is taking the surroundings, and the surroundings are actually very valuable. I mean, since white is now already in a pretty good advantage, what's actually very interesting, it seems like there is a possibility we might get a winner with white stones for third time today. And black finally decided to knock it. What's actually interesting in nowadays modern Go is that this two space, this one space extension is being almost as good as the two space extension when you are about to make a base or making life. Like AI really suggests it quite often. So that's actually something that has been updated recently. That one space extension is totally fine, not over concentrated. But is now white going to kill the empty triangle at K14? So white doesn't yet. Well, in theory, of course, white could, but the thing is that there is still a ko over here, and black has a lot of local ko threats. So I think Palko is looking there. I'm pretty sure he's looking there, but he's first preparing ko threats over here. So that's exactly what happened. And now he was just trying to make the ko threat bigger over here. So, but black also has plenty of local ko threats. Like I can count a lot of them. Like we have an Atari here, we have this, we have this, we have a lot of stuff. So black will have to play some kind of local ko threat. This is of course a bit of small minus, but no big deal. Like black simply cannot afford to die there. So now he plays whatever almost to save the central group. So this was actually Black's chance to clean up the core, but still the loss on the left side is kind of devastating. Of course, Black can still run away somehow, but still going through like this is very valuable in any case, in any stage of the game. So so what would Black have to do right now to turn around the game? So we can see that White has plenty of potential. White is also really thick everywhere. So Black probably needs to try to attack the White's group on the left side. I feel like it's the only hope. But we also shouldn't forget there is still P3 AG. P3 AG here is still a problem for Black, kind of. Yeah, costs are indeed good to gain time, like what Kurch is mentioning right now on the chat. Um, yeah, so now Black is leaving the group in the center. He sacrificed some stones. Now he's leaving the group because he has simply no time to come back. To cut the time to come back there because P3 was just so urgent so that he had to play over there. Yeah, no time for defending right now. He has to gamble a bit. But of course, White doesn't really need to like kill the group or something. It's not necessary. So White strikes the shape, and it starts to be a bit annoying for Black. What can be actually a bit of problem for White is this one. I mean, this move can actually be aiming for some kind of agi, like this kind of double peep is always annoying, so that's something Black should be looking for. So Black goes through. Hmm. White actually paid a bit, yeah. Like if White gives Black like a bit bigger territory over here, then Black definitely gets something extra. But of course, at the moment, Black is a bit struggling in the center to even make life. But I have a feeling that should be possible because White is simply not strong enough in the center. There is a lot of weakness. So I would be really surprised if Black doesn't make life. But yeah, both players are down on time, so anything can happen. White connected solid. One. Sorry. Now game is progressing very fast. White extend. Yeah, black is slowly starting to sink inside white ocean. Yeah, I mean, a couple of moves ago I said it doesn't look likely to die there, but who knows? So black pushes here, aiming for some kind of cutting put at g6. And this actually right now might be a way to come back. I mean, immediately when Palko played at L9, if you guys were watching the camera, Palko was like, oh my god, face. Like, he knew that troubles are coming, that he likely missed f5. f5 is a big problem for white, and white cannot win this on liberties or something. So white actually heavily messed up here. So if this game ends up with black victory, then L9, this one, will definitely be a losing move, that's for sure. I mean, there was no reason to come back here. I mean, white was just supposed to come back here and defend. Yeah, black would actually be able to get inside, that's for sure, but black would be still in trouble on the left. So and there is no way black can catch white here because of this double Atari. So kind of a problem, kind of an unexpected problem for white. And actually here white is trying to fight back, but black can most likely just swallow white completely. Just protect the cut, and even though white will have something like 6 or 7 liberties, it still doesn't change the fact that white is not having enough. So this is what time pressure can make. Yeah, so white is now going hard for the liberty. Most likely, yeah, he will throw in. Black needs to play Atari, and white will squeeze. That's probably the only option. This way. No, this is not good, because if white goes here, then this one, this one, this one, this one. There can be troubles. There can be troubles, and I have a feeling that this was a problem again. I think if black plays like this, it seems like he should have enough right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, should be no problem. Should be no problem. White is winning. Black is winning this by 1 liberty. This should be no problem. But seems like white didn't punish. Yeah, white was supposed to play here. Yeah, of course. That. Yeah, I'm here sitting in my chair without any pressure, just having fun, doing commentary for you guys. Yeah, it's easier to see this, and I can totally understand that in time pressure, counting to 6 or 7 can be extremely tough. So at the moment, black is absolutely winning the semi right now. White has only 5 liberties right now. Black has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 even. So black can just capture the corner here and finish. So the game is likely over right now. So the game is over here. And so we have actually So we have actually Freda leading right now 2-1. So the score is reversed. So we can look forward for more great games. And also today we have a first winner with Blackstones. We also have first turnaround of today, I would say, because most of the time White was in control of this game because in the top right corner he got a lot, and it seems like that he was just attacking all over the place. But at some point he made one error which was coming back here. L9 was definitely a losing move, and that's how Black claimed the victory. So Black is leading 2-1 right now. I mean Freda, and we will be back in a few minutes once again for game 4. It starts to heat up. Stay tuned what happens next. So see you in a few minutes. Okay, we are back with game 4 and things are starting to heat up. We are expecting some blitz contest right now. Tongi is complaining about there was no prediction about the whole series. So yeah, hopefully it will still happen because there is still plenty of stuff to predict. Anyway, we can see that Palko started with two Sansans over again, so he's trying to prove that two Sansan is actually a good opening. And this is an AI Joseki in the top left, so nothing special so far. Black reinforces the corner at the bottom left, also very normal. So it seems like White is now having more outside. Black is having all the cash, all the four corners. Let's see if Black can reduce all of White's influence. Both sides are also playing super quickly from the beginning because in these kind of games, getting into time pressure is really not difficult. So Black starts a fight with a reduction at J15, which actually Black clicked immediately, which to me is surprising. If I'm Black, I would maybe a bit wait. Also nowadays, the shoulder hits are popular all the time. Anyway, so White started some attacking, but then eventually White goes back to 4, and Black is still trying to help his own group at the top side. So let's get ready to rumble. So White counter attacks the P. He doesn't just want to connect. But Black can wait. I mean, Black doesn't need to cut immediately or play any Sentemus. Black can wait for a good moment to play a Sentemus when it's needed. Black is also not sure which one to use right now. Once again, we again have a R13 area like around here, which will be very important as well. Like yeah, we are getting a comment in the chat that Palko was playing like that in the transatlantic matches. Yeah, that's actually some years ago already. That was happening during the COVID, but very entertaining event. But yeah, true. Palko was also playing like that already for a while. So now Black finally actually plays the center move on the peep and then jumps, which Black is reducing White's potential on the left side. And I should actually somehow, yeah, like this. Let's erase my drawing. I have to admit that normally I'm not a big fan of OGS somehow, but I really like the drawings. I mean, it's actually really cool that I can draw here. And we can actually imagine the space a bit better like this. Yeah, Tongi is saying that since Galaxy Palko was playing two Sansan, there was a Galaxy was playing two Sansan back in the day. I don't remember already. Yeah, Scorch is saying that he likes the spirit that they start fighting immediately, already with little time. Yeah, honestly, it's a strategy. It's absolutely a strategy because anyway, it will be decided in some kind of fight. When I was getting into these kind of time pressures, like in the last year's edition, I wasn't normally playing like that. I was normally just waiting and try to make the game simple. So I was actually using a different strategy. Actually, in all of the 4 matches, like starting from the playoff until the final, I actually played always the game 4 and 5, and I have to say it's madness. And usually I won. So I feel like the strategy to keep things simple and so on is also doable. I think if you feel confident and you believe in your end game. So however, if we look on our game that is going right now, Black is taking even more and more cash. Yeah, I remember like when we mentioned like 2017 and 18. At that time, me and Palko were always saying that if you are not sure how to play, just take a cash. What else? Just take a cash. What else? That used to be our saying back in the day. Yeah, anyway, I think Black got locally a good result at the top side. Like, okay, White actually went through, but Black's group at the top side is totally alive, and the central group also doesn't seem to be ill or anything. Looks actually quite healthy, good shape, a lot of space for movement. So I have a feeling that this looks good for Black right now. But B10 is suspicious. I have actually no idea what Black was, what was meant to be by B10. So why decided Tanuki? Black goes back here. Yeah, so we will never know like what would happen if White would cut over there and so on. But I would probably Tanuki once again. I mean, if Black decided to play this one and then this one, I probably wouldn't answer here at number 3. I probably wouldn't answer at all again because the stone was quite light right now. Like this, actually, Black is making the group more and more healthy. We actually also shouldn't forget that one thing. Yeah, it's true that Black is having a lot of cash. Like it's 10 here, 10 here, 10 there, 10 there, 10 there, and then the central group is slowly starting to become an influence. So Black is actually having something like 50 points on the board. But we shouldn't forget one thing. White, we shouldn't forget that White is very thick everywhere, and also Black doesn't have a space where to accumulate more points if necessary. So Black will have to be quite precise by reducing White's thickness, especially happening at the top right. His wall at the bottom side is also very solid right now. So even though, of course, for humans, this game is way more comfortable for Black. But in general, I wouldn't say it's bad for White right now. Anyway, there is Miai here, which should see over on the left. So these 3 guys are actually absolutely alive. So I even decided to cut directly right now. So we just got extra viewers from Kanpai. As far as I know, Kanpai is a Go club in Finland, Tampere, Finland, like this. So we might have Finnish viewers from now on. I don't know what was happening there before. Probably also some tournament as well. But anyway, so White cuts over here. Now Black is thinking. Well, Black was actually way ahead on time from the beginning. But he doesn't seem to be happy on the camera after White cuts here. But the truth is that Black is still totally alright, of course. So Black starts something else over here. Yeah. If I would have been Black, probably I would just add a stone somewhere around here. But Palko is not that kind of player. He's not that kind of player who would be adding Honte moves if necessary. Yeah. So new fight going on here on the right. Both sides running a marathon towards the center. And White is now taking some center moves, which are all center, of course. Skurch is saying in the chat that he's wishing luck to Finland in the ice hockey championship finals, which is happening in a few hours, if I remember correctly. Skurch, but you have been living in Switzerland. You don't cheer for them? Rather, no? You don't? Yeah. Anyway, so what we are seeing now on the board, White was forced to actually connect in a relatively bad shape, but the important is the connection, not the bad shape right now. Also, Black is still kind of surrounded in the center. Like Black needs to start making eyes quickly, kind of. It's true that this game is actually kind of reminding me like Chochikun in at his best in like 1980s or 90s, let's say, like when he was playing two Suns as well, just taking all the points and then trying to survive with everything. And so that's what Palco is kind of performing here. We can also see around the board that Black has already 7 groups. And 7 groups is like quite a lot. I mean, the proverb is normally saying that one of them should die when we already have 6, right? So out of 7, I mean, if Palco saves 7 groups, it's pretty interesting. But at the moment, I'm not sure about it because even though White has absolutely no points on the board right now, White actually has a decent chance to kill something. Yeah, which we just see in our comment section. Yeah, White definitely needs to kill something right now. I remember once, like 6-7 years ago or something, I played against Stanislav and I survived with 7 groups and also managed to win the game. But it was only once in my life, I think, and I played 10,000 of games in my life or something. So it's really rare to survive with 7 groups and even win the game. So let's see if Palco manages. I mean, P12 looks natural. P12 looks absolutely natural because Palco needs to make some ice or some ice shape. But it's still not clear if he can make 2. I mean, he might, but he might still need to pay something. So White might be more solid on the outside. But White plays here. I think this move is not good enough. I think White needs to go for everything. White needs to strike here on the vital point and go and take and try everything. Because if White plays here, I think now it's time for Black not to save everything and defend in the center, and that's exactly what Black is doing. This is absolutely wise decision. Of course, White can take a lot of points by G12. Like G12 is 15 points or more, and also safety. But I think White missed his chance here to use all of his thickness and try to kill something. But Black is still not out of troubles. Black is still not out of troubles, and he needs to pay attention on his central group. And this shape here, it doesn't look right. Black's shape doesn't look alright at the moment. So now he finally connects, which White also needs to answer, which I would probably play Bamboo on the other side, but this is also doable. Yeah, Black actually let White somehow enter his base, like around G7. I think at some moment, like if we go back, let's say to this moment, I think Black could still play something like this and make a base. Yeah, I know that Palco also wanted to counterattack with his group, but I think that was not the best decision. It's okay. It's okay, Phelan. Yeah, 6-7 games. I actually said 6-7 already a couple of times during this stream, and it has already been 2.5 hours. So I'm also a kind of an overgrown child, I would say. But to be honest, I'm saying 6-7 absolutely unintentionally. Like sometimes it just comes out. I mean, for no reason. I don't know if I got infected by the kid jokes as well, but it's really not intentional from my side sometimes. Like in the previous game, I said that in time pressure, it's extremely hard to count to 6 or 7. So, I mean, yeah, what can I say? Uh, G5. So Scorch is suggesting G5 here for Black. So like something like this. It's more like this, I guess. 6. Yeah, but the problem is that Black has no time to play over there because Black's group on the right side is also on fire. But Black set up a core, and we know that Black is a core master, kind of. So this is absolutely his chance, I think. Both sides in a massive time pressure, like around 15 seconds right now for both of them. So White can cut at H8. White can absolutely cut at H8. Wait, what? White didn't cut. So black captures over here, and now white cuts. So I think black should have absolutely played here, which is, I think that's the move for, that's the move which Skurch was suggesting before. So it was really important, not only for safety, but also for points. So now white cuts, and now it's black's task to find life in the center. Can he do it? I'm not sure. I mean, even if black makes life, the problem is that in the center there are another stones that are about to die. So the position is still tough for black. Well, if Bartik is watching for 2.5 hours, I think I must have made him unintentionally happy a couple of times. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. Like 6-7 is often the estimation range. Also, the thing is that we also play for Komi 6.5 or 7.5, right? So we also can say 6-7 quite often because of that reason. Co-master, Palko is a co-master. Palko is a co-master. Yeah, we are getting a question here. I'm answering questions from the chat. Yeah, many people would might already get confused for sure. Anyway, let's see what Falco is finding out here. So this one he plays in center, so he makes life eventually. He played some minus exchanges on the left. So I remember you were saying like a few minutes ago that white needs to kill something. The funny thing is that out of all the original groups, white actually didn't kill anything. White just managed to create another group for black over here. Group number 8, kind of, but also this got underconnected. So it's group number 7, which eventually actually died. Just a group of few stones, and white suddenly makes a territory at a very unexpected area in the center. And I wouldn't be that surprised if it's actually enough, because we can see that black didn't build any territory since the beginning. And also the group at the bottom left, which is normally extremely solid, got actually kind of small eventually. There is still a lot of center moves, and I have a feeling that black doesn't have enough in this game. Yeah. That's actually true, yeah. Phelan is saying that it's ridiculously impressive the day that the players can still keep the game so balanced even in such time settings. Yes. Well, they get absolutely out of hand at some point, but yeah, for a while, yes. I also had a lot of close games, like when I played under these time settings in like game 4 or 5. Like there were some half pointers and so on. Mm. So we are getting a comment here from Klaus that he believes that black is ahead. I actually don't think black is ahead. I have a feeling that white center will be enough. Yeah, black's corners looks big, but still in total it might not be enough. I can try to count quickly. Of course, the time settings are so fast that I already cannot make review. I mean, no way I would get lost, but I can try to quickly count. Whoa. White went too far here. F5 was exactly the moment black was waiting for. And this is absolutely a chance for black. Yeah, I mean, including heart rate is not that easy, of course. Maybe some of you were watching, like when last month I was part of the research called Play with Brain in Jena, Germany, and where me, Valerie, Andriy, and Ali participated, and we were actually measuring a heart rate of us. And there were actually quite big differences, but obviously we are playing way slower games than these ones. We are playing way slower games. So there actually the heart rate was not that high. Actually, mine was the lowest. Not only I'm kind of a calm person, I'm also tall and skinny, so that's why. Anyway, in this tournament, probably the heart rate would be much higher for me as well. Actually, when there is a next Factorio Speed Go Championship edition, most likely starting this year in October, around that time, I might actually put on my watch and measure my heart rate, and then I can send you the graph. I mean, that would be actually quite a lot of fun, I guess. Anyway, what happened in the game? Actually, a huge exchange happened that the bottom side died all of a sudden. Actually, white actually the bottom side actually did die, and white sold the Tsumego properly over there. There is not much what black can do. On the other hand, black destroyed the center eventually. Black destroyed the center and got a lot of points in white's original territory, but I have a feeling that white's bottom side will be good enough to win this game. So white is most likely leading this one. I don't know what would have to happen for black to turn this around. It's not even a small lead. Wait. Aha. Well, white can probably kill right now with S4, but white rather decided to go back and not risk anything, because there would be some kind of semi. There would be some kind of semi which couldn't be pleasant, and I think white is at least coming ahead right now. At least coming. So even on the board. Yeah, but it's indeed kind of a crazy game, this one. But don't worry, even if Palco loses this one, which normally would mean end of the match in the usual Factorio Speed Go Championship. Today we are having an exhibition match, and we will play all five games. So we will even see the last game, even if Palco doesn't turn this around. Yeah, white is playing extremely clean endgame, I have to say. Yeah, that's what we have in common with Freda. Yeah, H9, H90 huge. I think white should play H9. That's what I would do. But white, if first exchanges this one. Yeah, this one will be played until the end. Most likely. I don't know if Paco counted, but I'm sure he feels he doesn't have enough. Yeah, this was big. This was pretty big. F7, F17. Yeah. In GF F17 was big, and this continuation as well. It will not change the result, but it was so big. I think both sides were a bit hesitating to play there. Yeah, not much is happening in the end game anymore. Or if this would be if this would be the regular tournament of Speed Go, people would be already crying that there will be no game 5. We have been getting those so many times. Yeah, hoping for white to screw up somewhere so we could get a 3 and 5, but don't worry, today we are getting it in any case. Yeah, actually in the last edition we enjoyed so many of games 5. I mean, I think there was in total exactly one match which ended 3-0. I mean, exactly one out of all of them. Like we expected that, like in the first round of 16, like there will be some big differences because we invited also some youngsters who were originally not supposed to have much chance, but they had. They actually won some games. So 3-0 happened only once, and if I remember, it was Andriy against Stanislav in the small final match, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, no 3-0. Some 3-1s, but mostly 3-2 actually, with a lot of turnarounds. Often somebody leading 2-0 in the slower games, but then the other side turning around 3-2 in the faster games. So this black still checking white's Tsumego skills at the bottom side. Yeah, white just finishes the Tsumego. White could also throw in actually. White could also throw in a J2. And it could be like this would be probably more clean. Yeah. But anyway, the game is over here. The game is over here. So we are getting 3-1 score for Freda. So Freda is actually the winner of this match. But still stay with us here. We are getting game 5 in a few moments. So see you in a few minutes on a thrilling 1 minute plus 4 seconds battle. So we are back. Here we go for the last time. Today we have the fifth game between Freda and Palko, Sweden against Slovakia, and we are playing under thrilling 1 minute plus 4 seconds Fisher time increment. And in this game, of course, the first half absolutely doesn't matter. We can see that Freda actually played an entertaining Tengen move, which according to AI is losing something like 1.5 points, but who cares? Palko is going up here with d6, starting a flying knife variation, which let's see if Freda is familiar with. I would personally try to find out some kind of escaping variation, because personally I'm not familiar with that. Freda has an advantage that he actually has a ladder. Wait, this is what, h3? h3 I've never seen before. I have seen f3 and g3, but definitely not h3. Hopefully it wasn't a misclick. Palko is probably already having fun. I can see how he's smiling on the camera. Anyway, he seemed to be studying this. I would bet on that. But let's see. Let's see. Hane is also something new for me, because normally white is playing b7. So black is going from the outside. Quite often, actually, from my experience in this variation, what's happening is that black can actually take the outside and let the corner die. I mean, it's quite often good enough. It's quite often good enough. But at the moment, I have a feeling not only black will take the outside, but white is dying overall. White is maybe even dying overall, because black still has plenty of liberties in the corner, and white definitely doesn't have time to connect, I think. But he might start taking liberty. So both sides actually decided to play the opening very quickly, because they didn't want to get low on time. I mean, I can absolutely tell you that 4 seconds is absolute madness. 4 seconds is absolute madness, and actually in the first edition of Factorio Championship, like nearly 2 years ago, we even had only 3 seconds at the beginning, in the last game. So I remember I played against Ali Jabarin, and the game was an absolute festival, which didn't make almost any sense, with plenty of blunders and so on. Eventually it worked out for me, but it was absolutely random. So I don't think 3 seconds is enough. Well, 4 seconds is also madness, but a bit less than 3 actually. It might look like not a big difference, but it actually is. Anyway, so white actually realized he's in trouble directly in this semi. So he played the monkey jump, but I have a feeling that black can probably just punish that. So black is now reading, but I think black can just play some very straightforward sequence to capture. Yeah, I wonder what white wants to do from this situation, because I mean, white would be okay in case he would be protected at e3. I mean, most likely with f3, something like hanging connection. But the problem is that when he's at h3, there is a clamp here. There is a clamp and cut over here, which actually give plenty of liberties to black in case it's necessary. So that's why I have a feeling white is in trouble. So let's see if he finds out something. But it's a bit different when the connection is not solid there at e3 or something. So white connects solid. And then what? Yeah, of course, like white is giving black a puzzle, which means Freda is burning a lot of time, and we know how much time matters. Seems like Freda actually went for the most simple variation, which might be a Seki, if I'm reading correctly. So yeah, it looks like a Seki, I think. So which is still, of course, really good for black, because black is taking center and so on. So white here, black here, white there. Yeah, it's in center for black. Yeah. Anyway, so black is comfortably ahead right now. Let's see what happens next. But white will again need to try some magic to turn this game around. So Philan from Portugal is asking if when there is a next Factorio tournament run. So yeah, the creator of this tournament, Kurch, has just answered in the chat section that the tournament is not yet 100% confirmed, but the sponsor is very willing to do it. We just need to set up some kind of technical stuff like a commentator and the producer and so on. And if all of this works out, then the tournament will surely happen. And yeah, indeed, Scourge, it feels criminal that F2 is wasn't happening. So actually, Black could probably destroy White on the spot there, but he didn't do it. I mean, eventually, a Seki happened. Yeah. Hello, Ben. I hope you enjoyed Strasbourg. So you came to also watch this festival. So Madness fight happening in the bottom right. What's actually interesting in the top left corner is that Black actually let White play two moves there, like letting the opponent play D14 and C14 both. It's unusual, but here it doesn't matter that much since Black is super solid over there. So White is making some center exchanges on the outside, and White before making life, because S1 will be absolutely necessary. Indeed, Factorio was a banger, but actually the thing is that we only got to maximum 250 viewers at one moment, which we were hoping for a bit more, to be honest. Like, we were hoping that maybe the final matches might attract like 500 viewers or something, which unfortunately didn't happen. I don't know if we didn't do enough promotion or yeah, we actually have no idea like how to attract more people. So it's still something we need to work on, because since there were people not only from Europe watching, also from other continents. That's why we were a bit surprised that only 250 people in one moment. Yeah, of course, a lot of people were most likely watching it retrospectively, but yeah, let's say we wanted more, to put it this way. So White made life in the bottom right corner, then run away, a marathon in the center, and now White is looking for a chance, because this kind of wedge and S11 is a classic combination, but I don't think it's working over here because Black has a lot of liberty. Black is actually longer than usual on the second line, so I don't think it's working here. So Black connects, White also has to connect, Black will just easily make life, but instead White is trying to attack the whole thing, which looks way too optimistic, of course. But yeah, we can see on the stream that both sides has something around 6 seconds right now. Well, I can say to please some younger viewers, 6 or 7 seconds. So let's see if White can make something out of it. But it's hard because Black has already super solid corner in the top right. Also, the central group looks super fine as well. So even though White is getting a very good very good shape, White is still just running, and Black is taking a profit. So extremely tough game for White. Do you record that White made? Yeah, actually, I don't see the comment properly here on my phone when I'm watching it. So I'm sorry, I will not answer this question, Scourge. Yeah, anyway. So at the moment we can see Black has a solid territory at the top side, solid territory at the bottom, solid thickness on the left. Yeah, and basically no weakness anywhere except some endgame at S70. White has basically no points right now, and Black is also now creating mess in the top left corner, and that's probably Black was hoping for, because White can hardly kill Black there. White can hardly kill Black there when Black is super solid on the outside. But this score was unnecessary. I think Black's score was unnecessary. He could have connected. White would be forced to connect the cutting points as well, and then Black would live in the corner. But Black has score threats. Black has score threats, so yeah, I think Black and Tanuki can clean up the core, which is super huge. So black answered, which to me is a bit surprising because this actually gives white more opportunities to do something. So here black answered, so white actually pushed through a few core threats which were likely not 100% core threats at the moment. White is down on time. Black actually is managing to play relatively quickly. So I'm expecting a long core again. Yeah, I think White should have played K9. I mean, K9 was very important vital point for both sides. So eventually White actually chickened out from the core. White simply didn't have a proper core threat anywhere. So he actually decided to B17. Well, I said chicken out, but in fact, actually White is trying to convince Black that he's dead. And actually it's true that he is locally dead, but Black has a lot of liberties. And Black has also a massive power in the bottom left. So now Black can actually go to surround the group and get some kind of compensation on the outside. Yeah, Black is simply just getting enough here. It's just another co over here. Sorry, it's not a co actually. It's a semi, which still works pretty well for Black. So White actually decided to leave the semi, not to win it, and take this huge endgame. But at the moment, it can be a co, right? It can be a co. R16 is suspicious because, in my opinion, R16 should have been a core threat, but Black can just take away a liberty and go for a semi right now. Black can also actually separate the group in the center, which at the moment is not 100% alive for sure. And we can see how big power actually Black managed to soar on the left side. So I'm not even sure if Black needs to actually answer this, and Black is actually finding another target. And this White's group is also not 100% alive. So yeah, White is suffering in this game from now on. It's extremely difficult for him. So Black actually goes very harsh on White. I feel like F2 was maybe a bit too much. He could just separate the two groups and kill one of them. Actually, here White is maybe Black is maybe a bit asking for troubles, but can he cut like this? He can probably. It seems like something will die. Yeah, now since it's Black's turn, there is no way that the center can survive. So it's just up to Black to find the proper sequence, but I don't think there is a way to mess it up. Let's see. Because it's true that right now, when Black just connects under, White is able to make an extra eye there, but I don't think the center will still remain an eye. So, well, the thing actually is that even if White lives, most likely White will simply not have enough, and there is still the Co on the left side, which still need to pay attention at. Wait, extension at G6 was absolutely a minus exchange, but Black was probably low on time, so he had to, he made that exchange. It was mostly because there was some worries about the ladder at J9. I get it. Okay, I get it. So now Black is just killing. Black is just killing. There is a Miai. White cannot make two wives at the same time. So White is still desperately trying to find something, but there is nothing. The game is over. So it looks like that for the first time in history at Speed Go Championship streams, we will have a 4-1 result, which is obviously normally not possible because the match normally ends at the time when somebody reaches 3 wins. Today we had an exhibition match, so we wanted to give you a chance to watch all of the 5 games. So it looks extremely likely that it will end up 4-1 for Fredrik at the moment. For him, it's just one task on the board right now, not to die anywhere somewhere accidentally, like here at the top. But here he just choose a simple variation, just making life like this. The central group of white is simply too big. Let's see if white can still come up with something, but not. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Yeah, we can see on the stream that Palco is not happy. He knows that is probably over, and the game is over right now when white surrenders. So we are getting a final result of 4-1 for Fredrik. So congratulations to Fredrik. And yeah, in this game, this was of course a super fast game, and I think white was not doing well directly from the beginning. He tried some new variation in the bottom left corner of the flying knife, which actually didn't work well because Seki was simply good enough for black, and then black was just mostly in control of that game. So that's it about the commentary of this game, and we will be back in a very few moments with an interview of our players. Can I start saying something? Everything works, audio, so on. 1, 2, 3, microphone check.
1, 2, 3.
Hey.
Can I go ahead? Okay, cool. So, thanks for amazing games, guys. Welcome to Factorio Speed Go community, because it was the first time you joined our stream and games and so on with these massacre type settings. So, how do you guys feel? I mean, it's exhausting, right? I mean, did you like it? I mean, did you have fun? Would you consider to participate in the tournament if it happens again?
So as for me, I'm pretty exhausted after these games. It was pretty difficult. Like I didn't play so intensely for a long time. But it was also quite fun for me. So I hope I can make it if it happens.
Yeah, same for me. It was fun.
So, and do you feel like these time settings are still good enough to produce like okay games, or would you go slightly slower or even faster? Because I mentioned on the stream that in the first edition we even had only 3 seconds increment in the last game. So, what do you think?
Hard to say. It's hard to produce good games, I think. It's hard to read much. It's mostly just feeling. But it's fun also. Maybe it's more fun for the viewers, so it's fine. I think the viewing experience is most fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would keep the time settings like this. Like I think there are going to be mistakes, maybe some pretty bad mistakes, but I think that's okay.
I see. And what do you guys think was what was the decisive moment of the match in general?
Probably game 2 throw, where Palko threw it. He was leading so much, right? Or
You
was
mean
it
game 3, right?
Game 3, yeah, game 3. Game 3.
Yeah, I also feel it was the deciding moment.
Yeah.
I think from game 4 you changed your style a bit, Palko. You played more like aggressive or kind of randomly.
I didn't mean to change
some way.
it, so it had to be natural.
Because game 4, you know, you just started to invade and fight everywhere from like move 10. But
Yeah, I mean, game 4 and 5 are madness, right?
So you are saying that game 2 was clean, yeah, from me?
No, but game 1 was very clean. I thought after game 1 I would lose the match for sure, because I thought that was very, like, I had no chance that game.
I mean, I felt that game 1 and 2 were like, game 1 was really clean from Palko, then game 2 was really clean from Freda, and then game 3 was, yeah, you already mentioned it, so, yeah.
Yeah, but it was clean from Palko, like 80% of the game. It was like,
yeah,
it was just one blunder, kind of.
But that's, yeah, what sometimes happens with these types of things. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us today. I think we are having a great fun, not only me as a streamer, but also all of our viewers and you too as well. So thanks for today's matches. Have a nice rest of the Sunday, and see you sometime again. Bye bye. And thank you everybody
Bye-bye.
for watching and cheering. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, bye.